The biggest thing you guys have been asking me for over 100 comments on this is literally the officer swap. Guys, it's here. We can finally talk about it. We finally have more information. Now, the officer swap event is going to be huge. Now, I can't fully show you it because technically on this account, I have absolutely every officer awakened, but I can still kind of explain everything on how it's going to work. It is actually rather simple and it's going to be cheap. It's not free. It's physically impossible if you are someone who has never put a single penny in the game to fully exchange one officer to another for free, but it is very cheap. So as you can tell here, it shows you the base cost of each swap is 5 swap vouchers, and if you want to do an exclusive officer, it's going to cost 10 swap vouchers. Okay, now it says here that the base cost is obviously the 10 plus 100% of the difference in officer statues and the unlock statues where applicable. And then here on the regular officer swap, it costs the base swap plus 20% of the difference used in officer statues. So I will explain how that is. So let's just say, for example, here you wanted to get another officer. There is 3 officers that are not able to be swapped, and that is Agent Percy, Marco Rossi, and Eri Kasamoto. Those are the 3 officers that you cannot swap. Every officer is available. So, for example, a lot of people will no longer use Bloody Mary. They will no longer use, for example, Sergeant Spanner. Even things like War Machine, they just don't get used anymore. But even, for example, you have an old officer like Eruptor, he's no longer useful, and there are much better officers out there. You could swap him. Now, the way this will work, guys, is it costs 720 officer statues. So, to get the 20% of that is 144 statues. But again, we do have the base cost as well. The base cost is 5. So 144 statues plus 5 is 149. Now, for free, you can only get 80. That's it. For free, you can get 80. Plus, you can get an additional 20 from up here. Now, the additional 20 is going to get you to 100. So you have 100 officer swap tokens for free. You cannot get any more for free. Now, the only other way to get them is by spending money. Luckily, though, they've been very generous. The very first one, if you want to buy it, comes for $4.99, is 55 swap vouchers. This means you can get 155 swap vouchers for $4.99 if you're paying in money, and if you are paying on diamonds, it's 499 diamonds. So for $5, £5, depending on where you are in the world, you can get an officer swap for that price. Now, if you wanted to do a second one, which is obviously non-exclusive, you're going to need another 149, which means you're going to have to spend money to get them. Now, the only other way to get them, guys, is going to be via this method, where you can get the first one for free, but then after that, it costs 199 to get 4 of them, another 199 to get another 4, and so on. It goes to like 299, then it goes to like 499, and you can get multiple of those 499s. I'm assuming, guessing here, you could get anywhere between 50 to 100. I would honestly say closer to the 100 mark, so maybe anywhere between like 70 to 100 from here. And again, I don't know the math because I don't spend on these events, but I'm assuming the cost of value to get this is going to be around $50-ish probably to get that amount. Now, after this one, there is one other place you can go, which is over here to the Officer Swap Special, where you can spend $4.99 and you'll get 5 of them. So as you can tell here, it's going to get progressively more expensive if you want to do 2 or more officers. Well, I say more as in the exclusive lounge. Now, moving over to the exclusive lounge, let's just say you only want to swap an exclusive lounge officer. This is going to cost you 730 officer statues. And as we know from here, if you want to do an exclusive swap, it is the base cost, which is 10 plus 100% of the difference. So you're going to need 740 swap tokens just to swap one exclusive to another. So I'm estimating, again, I don't know how much these packs will end up costing, how many you'll get from each pack, but I'm just guessing, guys. Obviously, they're not going to make it cost the same to be able to fully awaken an officer, which right now I believe it's anywhere between $300 to $400 per skill, which means on average you're spending anywhere between around that sort of 1200 mark to 1600 mark for an officer in the exclusive lounge. Again, that's just what I'm hearing from people. They say it's anywhere between 300-400 per skill if you want to spend money in the lounge to fully awaken it. Now, with that being said, I assume it's going to cost maybe half of that, maybe a quarter of that if they're generous. You're looking at probably anywhere between 300 to potentially $600 to $800 to fully swap one awakened exclusive lounge to another. So I hope this has answered all the questions for you. It's very, very nice of them to, obviously, for a cheap price of, you know, the $4.99 to be able to completely get one officer done, but that is only going to be a free officer. So for example, guys, another thing I wanted to explain as well is, let's just say you have an officer that's awakened and you want to swap it for an officer that you've already got, say, one skill in. Now, a lot of people will have one skill in an officer because they're using it for skill training and they just haven't got around to awakening the officer, but they still want that officer. That's only going to cost you 108 statues, but then obviously you have to add the 5 for the actual base. Now, with that being said, I'm pretty sure, obviously, that's going to be really cheap. But let's just say you have an officer that is partially done and you want to swap those statues. Is that possible? I'm wondering, because, for example, on my alt account and even on my main account, my exclusive officer, which is currently at like 5-3 or 4, it's like 4-3, 4-5, something like that. It's not awakened, but it has some statues in it. Are you able to take just some of them skills and put them into the other ones? I've read through everything and I genuinely don't know is the answer to that question. We're probably gonna have to wait until it's actually out to test it. Obviously, I can only give you the information we have here. So yeah, that's one big thing I'm wondering, because I personally would love to swap my statues that I've currently got in an exclusive lounge officer over to another one, but just for the amount of a set amount. I don't want to do the whole amount. I'm wondering, can I use my 155 swap vouchers to get 155, you know, actual vouchers out of it? Is that possible? I think it's possible, but again, we'll have to find out, wait and see if it's going to be able to do it, or do you have to get every single statue out and into another one? Let me know what you think of this event. I know so many people who are happy for this event. They think it's a good idea. The more closer we are getting to it, I'm understanding why people think it's a good idea, but I am being a little bit stubborn. I do still think that it's not needed. I just want to clarify why I think it's not needed, guys. Obviously, in my last video, I said, oh, it's a strategy game. People need to just make a decision on what they want. They need to strategize. But a lot of the comments were actually responding to me saying that, well, it's not easy to get an officer. You know, it takes time. And if you're free to play, you know, it's a lot harder. But guys, as a free to play player, you can get an officer in less than 2 months. It takes less than 2 months to fully awaken an officer from 0 to the 720 statues. The only thing you need to take into consideration is, as soon as you see an officer, don't go and get it. You got to strategize with what you want. But I'll put my hand up and say, I'm still going to take advantage of it. I'm still going to like the fact that I can go and get a brand new officer for free, basically. I don't know why everyone's hating on me for saying I think it's a bad idea. I did also see a lot of people saying that they agree with me that, you know, it is a strategy game at the end of the day, and these handouts are just making it a little bit too easy. Because at the end of the day, guys, the pay to win people are always going to win. Whether you have this event or not, those pay to win people are still going to clap your cheeks if you're a free to play player. It's just how the game works. That was a lot of people were saying that it helps the free-to-play players have a bit more oomph with it. But the way I see it is, no, it's helping the paid people, in fact, more than it's helping the free people, because it's just another way for the paid people to get rid of older officers for the newer officers for even less money, which means they now have more money to spend on more skins, which means more collector buffs, which means they're getting even more damage against you and more firepower and more resist and everything else. So yeah, I've said my piece. I know you guys are probably thinking I'm yapping right now, so I'm going to end this video here. But again, hope you guys are enjoying this. For $4.99, you can get an officer swap. But if you do want to get a second one or an exclusive lounge one, it's going to cost you a lot more money. I'm just making the guesstimates on how much I assume they're going to be. Obviously, until we know exactly how many you get and you actually buy them, you're not going to know. So with that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please think about hitting the like button. I appreciate you all. Hope everyone could share this video as well to their fellow Alliance members and servers, and ask them to go and subscribe to the channel. Appreciate you all, guys. Hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you in the next video.